Entonces, bienvenidos todos. Un
Everybody, welcome.
webinar del Día Mundial de las
This is
Aves.
the second webinar of Migratory Birthday 2023.
Contentos de compartir un nuevo
We're really happy
mensaje de
to
conservación.
share another
Este año,
conservation message
el
with you.
mensaje de conservación, agua vital para las
This
aves,
year, the conservation message is water sustaining bird life.
es un llamado a la acción
This is a call to
para la conservación de las aves.
for bird conservation, focus on water and its different forms. Water of habitat as a resource for everyday life, water not only for birds, but also for the communities. And that is the message we have this year. Water and birds are joining in for conservation. Migratory Birthday is the biggest bird migratory event that we have in the world. We inspire worldwide conservation of migratory birds and their habitats. It's a joint effort that is truly globally. We join with 4 different organizations. I'm gonna ask folks to please mute their microphones. This campaign is coordinating with 4 different organizations. We have Environment for the Americas. We organize the educational efforts from Alaska to Argentina, including the Caribbean. We also have the African Eurasian Migratory Waterbird Agreement, and joined in with the Convention of the Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals to preserve these bird species. We also have the East Asian Australian Flyway Partnership. This is an organization that has a lot of pull in East Asia and Australia on bird conservation. Every year, we have a different conservation theme. We invite people from different participants in the universities to raise the voice for this message. We have themes like plastic pollution, blocking efforts. We have some other more general themes like more like a bird. There are new themes. We have contamination, light sources, and migration. This year, we want a simple conservation theme that we want to help birds. Water is fundamental for life, and everybody knows this. It helps in the evolution of all of our organisms in the world. At some point in their life story, they have a relationship to water. It's also important for our agricultural systems. Most birds drink water every day, and they do it in different forms, maybe through the rain or getting close to the lakes. Even marine birds that travel through the ocean need some water throughout the day, and they might get these through birds or through fish, I'm sorry. Some birds spend most of their life in water. For example, you might have Atlantic penguin. They have special adaptation body to be able to live in the water. They are able to fish and travel far distances in their migration. For this kind of lifestyle have developed various adaptations that we are able to see with our naked eyes. For example, pelicans have developed webbed feet, and also the pouch in which they're able to keep fish in that pouch after they've caught them. Some birds have got long legs that are able to walk through the vegetation in the water. This vegetation is fragile and they're able to tread delicately. Others have special waterproof feathers that allows them to stay in the water for a longer period of time. These adaptations are also in migratory birds. Migratory birds rely on aquatic ecosystem during their life cycles. Birds like the osprey, one of our focus birds, they depend on estuaries and other lakes to catch the fish that they need to survive. Other species use estuaries and other watersheds to rest during their migration. We also use these spaces to rest and hide away predators. Simply, they can rest there during their long journey. And also they can replenish food. In general, water is threatened in many places. We find some of the main threats to water. We have chemical pollution, petroleum, other ways, desertification, which this affect an ecosystem to the point that it's impossible to recover these spaces to their original state. For example, when we lose a leaf, we cannot recover habitats. Water is also being contaminated by plastics and microplastics. At the same time, this is all related to high development in various communities, particularly those communities that are on the coast or those that have intervened with river systems. This is why this year's campaign highlights the importance of water for migratory birds and identify key actions for protecting water resources and aquatic ecosystems. Want to keep them, we want to strive to have the best quality. That's why every year we unify our voices for our message. This is water sustaining bird life. Here we're showing you a series of translations of the same theme to other languages like French, Portuguese, and we are open to translate these to new languages if you want to share with us what others we should include. There are some easy actions we can remember to share with others. For example, fixed leaks. check them to ensure that they're working well. We can also be more efficient use the waters. For example, not washing dishes under running water, but investing in water efficient fixtures that minimize the water use for washing dishes. Can reuse um, reuse materials to transport water, like water bottles. We can also think about how to reduce water in our gardens. You want to be efficient in this, so you can think about how to reduce water use in our gardens. Particularly, you can plant native species that require a lot less water. When you can, you want to avoid using toxic chemicals. And you can also think about taking shorter showers and supporting other water conservation efforts in the community. You can also provide a source of water for birds to use. These are the birds that we're using this year as ambassadors to help tell the story of the importance of water. They have a unique relationship to water, and you can tailor that story and and see how best with your community and shift the message. You can focus on penguins if you are farther south. In Caribbean, you can think of the hummingbirds as a focus bird. Um, you can think of flowers and the water that is absorbed by hummingbirds as a messaging if you in that bird. We typically celebrate the second Saturday of May and also in October. Right now, we're in the process of MEDIOS for May, when most people in the US are celebrating around this time. We have a space where you can get inspiration from for your festival. This might be the first event in which people are first introduced to birds and conservation, so you want to keep it simple. You can have talks in museums or have talks at libraries, schools, youth centers. You can also have bird walk, and in each one of these activities, you can share the message of. Find some cool materials. We offer them every year. If you need assistance, is with material to work with communities in the Caribbean or South America, even in the US, you need assistance, you can fill out a survey that you can see. The link to this we'll put it in the chat. But this will allow you to receive a packet, including posters and pamphlets, stickers, with our messaging for the year. So you can request all of that. Or we really want to highlight our artist, Augusto Silva from Nicaragua. His style is geometric inspired and also with a touch of Caribbean. And we are very happy to have his materials from him these new easy shapes that could be used at schools kind of activity. You want to create consciousness through social media. You can also access a social media packet. This is in Trello, we have a virtual space where you can access all of the material with our messaging, and they're free to download. Don't forget to register your event in our global lab. That way we can evaluate how we are outreach is going by seeing how many events we have every year. We can know who is participating and better support you. And this is one way to have a direct relationship with us. You can follow this link that we have here and just follow the instructions. The official poster of our Migratory birthday. We have species with a different messages with the connection of water, and you can use them to connect with your communities. That poster was for the Caribbean. The poster that we have for America, we have 2 versions, many actually, Spanish, Portuguese. Don't hesitate to contact us and coordinators. We are in the Boulder office in the US. That is where our main offices are located. We also have Laura, who is in Trinidad, Leticia Nino, who is El Salvador in Central America. I am in Venezuela, and I focus on South America. Daniela of Mexico, Julia, Daisy, and Kyle. They're also in the MEDIOS system, as well as Stephanie, me, who is translating for you today. Thank you so much to everybody that helps with this would not be possible without you. I want to also thank the educators that every year is growing and are so motivated to spread this message. If you have any questions, this is the time to let us know. We say hi to those from Ecuador and Nicaragua. Hellos. Yeah, anybody can share the link, of course. I'm going to share another link. You can find the educational materials that you can download. All of this stuff is in English and Spanish. And if you can't find anything in this particular language, just email us and we can translate to other languages if you don't find the one that you need. I'm gonna find the template in Spanish and we'll upload it soon. Thank you. For those that want to also do the surveys, I'm going to share another link. Everything I'm sharing is in the chat. This year we have a manual that has really been converted to a coloring book. Normally we have a manual for educators, but now we have this coloring book activities that we recommend for festivals and all the events. We're going to include a copy of this book in the kit that you would get. Have any other questions, feel free to write them in the chat or just speak up. You'll subscribe to materials? No. If you want the link to register your event, I'm also going to share that in the chat. Remind you that this recording will be in our YouTube channel in English and Spanish starting tomorrow morning. Our recording will be in English and Spanish. If you want, if you have specific questions in, for example, you're in the Caribbean, contact our local ambassador. An ambassador is somebody that is coming from the US to the Caribbean or elsewhere that's traveling there, and they can bring educational material with them. So if you know somebody that is traveling from the US to the country that they're going, write us. Maybe we can work with them so they can bring materials. Someone's asking if Colombia has an ambassador, and we're working on getting one for Colombia. But you do have to write a survey, because otherwise we won't have the list of all the names. And then you're not going to receive materials if we don't have you on the list of names included. Make sure that you fill out that form so that you're not forgotten about. If there are any more questions, I want to thank everybody much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this short presentation. I can also share the presentation with you if you want to share it with the community in English or Spanish. You can also change it, like take away a picture, or use that you have of your community. If you want to change the messaging, you can do that. How much? We see you next Thursday. We will learn about the story of each species. Thank you. Bye. Thanks everybody for joining. Grace, Angelica, thank you so much. Gisela, see you soon. Laura, thank you so much. If anyone wants to stay to ask a question, I will. Hola. Oh, hello, this is Laura. I seen Trello some circular pictures. Can we print these? Yes, I want to print. You have full authority to print anything. All right, thank you. Any other question? Hello from Puerto Rico. Hi, Selena. wondering, we have a lot of activities in Puerto Rican. Should I join in for materials? I have multiple events. Or should I just ask for a new event, materials for a different event? Yes, we have help to send materials to Puerto Rico that is more easy for us to send materials there than to other areas. So you can ask for multiple events if you have. We can definitely help you with that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that environmental education that you provide on the birds. Thanks to you, you help us make a better and more creative work every day. Any other questions? Leticia, you can stop recording. Perfect.